All right, everybody, what is going on? Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are continuing to do well. And we've got a few more predictions to lay down here, and we have made our way through the offense, made our way through the defense. Now we're going to do special teams, which, hey, I understand that of the three units, it's the least notable and least important, but you can definitely win or lose games on special teams. So, definitely something that is worth looking at here, and definitely something that is worth making sure your team has handled. So, the Seahawks in particular are a team that prides themselves on having a good special teams unit, so the play of these guys in particular is going to be very important. So let's hope that we get good stuff out of them, and let's go ahead and lay down some predictions of what they might do. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. Going to start with Jason Myers, going to start with the kicker here. Now, things feel like they've kind of normalized here because the thing with Jason Myers was always he would have the one really good year, then the one really bad year. It kind of feels like things have normalized a little bit, and now he's going to be consistently good. Like last year, he obviously had a little bit of a career season in terms of volume, but he did miss a fair few kicks, so his percentage wasn't super high, but ultimately he still ended up having a good year. So it kind of feels like maybe we're past that now. At least I hope. I'd rather have a consistent kicker than somebody that is out of this world one year and then barely playable the next year. So I'm just going to hope that he kind of settles into consistent quality play. I don't need him to be the best kicker in the league. I just need him to do his job. So with that being said, let's run it through here. Um, 5 for 5 on short field goals. A lot of teams don't kick a lot of short field goals anymore because they always go for it. But this team has shown they are willing to go for it a little bit more than typical, or not go for it more than typical, I should say. So there's probably going to be a few more shorter field goals, 20 to 29 yards, and Myers should knock those through no problem. Then we have the 30 to 39 range. I have him going 12 for 12. So these short to kind of sort of intermediate kicks should be good, should be reliable, should be able to knock these through. I think we're at that point now where we can trust him. We're going to be shocked anytime he misses something shorter than 40 yards. And then you've got the 40 to 49 range. I got 12 out of 14, so going to be good, going to be solid, not going to be perfect. But he's going to continue to knock these home at a high enough rate to be a good kicker in this league, so 40 to 49 is good. And then the long kicks, this is obviously the stuff that people really pay attention to. I have him going 7 out of 10, 50 to 59. Seems reasonable. He can definitely do it. We know he can make anything inside 59 yards. So he'll get plenty of opportunities to kick longer field goals, and he's proven that he's pretty reliable in those circumstances. So you put it all together, that is going to be 36 out of 41. So that's a good year. Maybe not quite a all-pro or Pro Bowl type year for a kicker. It depends on what everyone else does, but it'll be a good season. And I think we'll be happy with his play. And I also have him going 51 out of 52 on extra points. So good, respectable season. He'll do good stuff on kickoffs too, I think. But I don't think he's going to be perfect the way he has been before. It'll just be another routine run-of-the-mill good season from Jason Myers. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. All right, so that's Myers. Now we're going to move on to Michael Dixon here, routinely one of the best punters in the league. It's been a while since he's been honored as like the best, but always on the cusp and ultimately always doing his job. So let's talk about Dixon a little bit here. I went with 56 punts, which is pretty close to what he had last year, maybe one or two more. The offense last year was good and reliable and solid, and generally speaking, I feel like we're kind of past the stuff from earlier in Dixon's career where we punted the ball at a very high rate. But going from Kubiak to Fleury may bring a couple of little problems, and we did lose our running back, so I think there will be a little bit of an uptick, but not a huge one. And part of the uptick might even be because we don't turn the ball over as much, which would not necessarily be a bad thing. It would at least be preferable, right? So another way to think about that. I have him going 48.6 yards per punt, which is not quite his career best, but it's still very good. That would definitely mark him as one of the best punters in the league. If maybe not the best, but 48.6 is definitely good. And I think our coverage units will take a little bit of a step back with no Derek Young. But remember, Derek Young did miss a lot of games last year as is. So 43.9 net yards per punt, still highly respectable, still very good. Still more than enough to consider Dixon one of the best punters in football. Also have him with 4 touchbacks. He's really good at avoiding the end zone, has been for the last couple of years. Last year, barely touched the end zone. So we'll just go with 4 touchbacks. And I went with the 25 of his 56 punts are going to be inside the 20. And hopefully we also get a decent percentage of them going inside the 10 as well, because that's obviously a little bit more like inside the 20 is starting to become less and less notable because the inside the 10 and inside the 5 stuff is so prevalent. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. All right. Rashid Shaheed. Let me fix that real quick here. So this is going to be our primary return man. Although if he becomes a high volume receiver this year, he might see a reduction in that role to keep him safe. But at the end of the day, he's so good as a returner, I don't think you can take him away from that role. Like at the end of the day, you're just going to have to live with the risk a little bit, I think. So Shaheed, I have him doing 19 kickoff returns. Going to take a majority of the kick returns. So little more than one a game. Remember, a lot of kicks are not returned, especially to a guy like Shaheed. Teams will do touchbacks rather than kick the ball to him fairly often. And then I have 571 kick return yards, so pretty high rate. But remember, the long returns that he has, and you know he's going to have a couple of big returns, are going to skew the average pretty hard. Punt returns, or excuse me, kick return touchdowns, I've got 2. I think he's going to find his way into the end zone from a kick return twice. And then punt returns, I've got 22 punt returns, going to be a little bit more because he's going to be the only punt returner. And also because it's a little bit harder to prevent punt returns, I think. And 340 yards on those punt returns. Again, punt returning, like kick returning, is a stat where you get the average kind of thrown off by 1 or 2 big returns. And then I have him having 1 punt return touchdown. So definitely going to be one of the top returners in the league, and he'll do it both ways. So that's very valuable. And if he can do that in conjunction with the receiver stuff, we are good. And then finally at the end here, I got Torrey Horton, 4 kick returns. I think he'll pick up whatever Shaheed leaves behind, and 102 yards. And that's all I had for him. Just kind of to fill it out. Remember, you have 2 kick returners typically these days, so Horton's going to get some, and he's proven that he can do that kind of stuff. And with a Derek Young gone, I think Horton's going to be your secondary kick returner. And that's all I have here. I don't know who the primary gunners are going to be yet because we haven't made that decision. So I'm not even going to speculate to that. We need to see what's going on with guys like Henderson, and then the guy we traded for from the Jets. We need to see what he's doing. Could be a couple other guys too, like Cody White. Brady Russell's always a candidate. So to me, I think that guessing about like who our top special teams tacklers are going to be. We're not there yet, so I'm not going to do that. But more stuff coming soon. See you guys later. Just wanted to quickly go through our special teams here. Short video, I know. But we got a couple more videos like this to do, and then we are going to be rolling into training camp, basically. Going to be like a week away. All right. See you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming soon.